We back. We back. Solo dolo mission. Put it in perspective. Nets talk. You already know how we start. Hold on a second, man. We start from Santo Domingo. No Panama again today. Later on, maybe in the day to Miami to Nueva York. You already know how we do this. Nets in perspective pregame. Nets and Kings talk. It's gonna be real interesting. Not real interesting to be honest. The last game was a blowout. Um, Shout out to B Mad. He's on he's on the money watch. um Last game, Nets beat the Clippers. It's a 124-120 victory. Uh Very close game. Controversial. Paul George sat out for the last couple of minutes, and Kawhi Leonard offensive foul that shouldn't have been called. It seems like by a lot of people, so they say, so they claim. But the point is, and the Nets were missing Kevin Durant, so I think it's a wash. Another big story about that was the offensive rebounds that the Nets were giving up. But I don't, when Durant was there, I didn't see that there actually. When he was there wasn't as many offensive rebounds. The Nets had more turnovers. Again, that's the pace that the Nets play. But we're moving along. The Nets got on a 6-game winning streak. 5 against the West Coast. They were on a West Coast winning streak, so they're back from over there. I forgot who the Kings lost to. I think it was I forgot who they lost to, but they're coming off another loss, and they must be on their East Coast swing if I think they were played Philly, and the Nets are 10-3 against the West Coast. They have a 20-12 record. Kings are 12-18. So the Nets they play the Western Conference with with a superiority complex, and the Kings were were part of those victories. One of those victories. How am I doing this? Let me fix this up for you. Yeah, that's 136-125 victory for the Nets versus the Kings. That was February 15th, and the Nets just look good. They look really good, and I don't think there's any way around it. Everyone's on the bandwagon. Not everyone. I think some people are still a little in denial their defense, but they've been playing defense tremendously during this winning streak. And of course, if people go through when teams go through a hot streak, then all of their flaws aren't going to be shown. The one comment that everyone has made so far is that the Nets actually defensively, LeBron was the first one to say it. I think everyone just follows suit with him. Then all the Nets do is rotate on defense, and they want you to play more one-on-one. Well, this is a one-on-one team who wants to bring you to their world. Anytime a team is doing that, I don't care what sport it is. If somebody's playing your game, you got the advantage. I can't say the same for the Philadelphias of the world, and again, and the Milwaukee's of the world. What is their game? You know what I mean? Like Philadelphia really, truly does not have an offensive style to force you to play with them. Besides the obvious of Embiid, it should be an in and out game, and he should be shooting more 3-pointers. They should be centering the offense, but primarily around Embiid. But they don't, and they don't have. I don't think they have an identity offensively. So that might be another knock on Doc Rivers. They're number one in the Eastern Conference, but not by much. They're a half game behind. They're a half game, have a half game lead on the Nets. So they're playing tonight against, I forgot who that was, but the Nets can win today. Philly can lose, and Nets have sole possession of first place without Kevin Durant in the last 4 games. What more are you asking for? What more are you asking for? They're playing incredible. So much so that the odds have changed. The Nets odds have changed from plus 600 at the start of the season as championship favorites. Now they're the number one. Lakers are in second with plus 300, if I'm not mistaken. Philly and Milwaukee are way further down the list, and the Clippers and Utah. Utah is further back, also, I think plus 1,500. The Clippers have a higher chance of making the finals or winning the finals, but Brooklyn is number one right now, so they've jumped up in the public's eyes. I didn't do my due diligence on the over under. I think it wasn't posted, but the Nets were them on the money line. I'm sorry, the over under yesterday was at 240, and the Nets have a 5.5 plus on the spread, so they favored to beat the Clippers today by 5.5. I mean, I'm sorry, the Kings. I got the Clippers on here. Whoopsie daisy. I could change that up real quick. Look at this. What do you think you're dealing with? Yeah, so they have a 5.5 game favor in turn for what Vegas is saying. And again, I'm not too concerned with the offensive rebounds from the last game, and I think it wasn't the turn. It was the offensive rebounds. Kevin Durant didn't play in this game. They were out rebounded by, what was it, 16 rebounds? By 10 rebounds. So, I'm not totally. I'm sorry, the final score was 112-108 against the Clippers. The Nets, the Clippers out rebounded them 36-31, but what stood out was the 16 offensive rebounds. And the first game, the Clippers had 11 offensive rebounds. So it is a theme, but it just seemed way more prevalent in the last game for the Nets. And we want to watch De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton. Ty Halliburton is a rookie who has a chance of becoming Rookie of the Year. And Lonzo Ball is starting to run away with that, but he's there. He's right there. I can't say he's right there. Lonzo Ball has more flair. He has more potential. But Halliburton is just, you'll see the difference between the two, where he doesn't look like enough as a herky-jerky, style of play. He's way more polished. You can plug in Halliburton in any system, and he's almost like ready to go. So I really like his game. 3-point shooting is great. But as you can see on the bottom here, De'Aaron Fox is their number one option. He is their playmaker for now. 22 points per game and 7 assists for him. I want to watch some more of him because he came in and he was drafted in the same draft as Halliburton's competition this year, which is Lonzo, his brother. So Lonzo Ball's brother was drafted at the same year as De'Aaron Fox. Excuse me. So that'll be interesting. They just don't play well, and Kyrie looked like he was gonna have a feast when he saw the Kings. But I'm gonna let you get to the game. I think we're 10 minutes away from the pregame ceremonies. I'm gonna post this up real quick. And thanks for everyone. Thanks for the love, my man Steve-O, Stone Cold Steve Flossin. That's my dude. I appreciate him reaching out and just showing love and giving me the love that he did. Everybody on Twitter, Kill, and Storm. There's a couple of people. They're like random names. I don't know how to it's Doe Fetish, the Doe Fetish, and Go Get It. She's beautiful. She retweets us, and there's a bunch of people who retweeted our latest podcast. Check that out. We had a Lauryn Hill segment, did a tribute for her, and she was we gave her just due, and people were really liking that. They retweeted it. I appreciate all the love. Hopefully we get B-Mad in after the game. He's on the Money Watch. Shout out to Mel. Mel, get well. And see y'all soon after the game.